Hello, my name is Ellen Stiers, and today I will be talking to you about the Cultural Revolution, sometimes referred to as the Great Proletarian Cultural Revolution. The Cultural Revolution in the beginning. What started the Cultural Revolution? In China, or should I say, who started it? For to start off, I should state that there was a lot of political tension inside of China before the revolution. But according to official statements, it was caused by the chairman of the Communist Party, Mao Zedong. In a way, Mao wanted to completely wipe out any and all rivals and demolish capitalists, all while trying to restore his power and control in the Communist Party. Though considered to be a socio-political movement, it soon became a full-blown revolution with the newly banded and formed Red Guard of mostly student followers who sought authority, inadvertently causing chaos. Shortly after, the media made way in support, and the masses of China were used to pursue Mao's agenda to seize power and push for communism. Soon Mao's rivals would be banished, humiliated, or flat out killed by his Red Guard, securing his place as leader within time. Here is some propaganda. We all love it, maybe not, and here is their source. Now, I mentioned the Red Guard. Why don't we take a look at who they are? And to start off, we need to know who they are and what they did. So, in the simplest of ways, Red Guard was Mao's supporters who took the action he required them to. They were the loyal followers willing to take brutal and aggressive force to get rid of the pre-communist past. Made of mostly college students and teenagers that were fed up with the elitism and favoritism and nationalist China. They made brutal acts to destroy anyone who they felt did not support their cause. Some broke out into factions and then fought each other later on for their reasons, and these were games. We will not be going into too much detail about those. But they were also known mostly for dragging party members of the CPC, the Communist Party of China, out in the streets to be tormented and killed in an effort to eliminate people who they felt were out of place. But it wasn't just CPC, it was anyone that anyone felt was out of place, and this would be abused most of the time. They led many violent acts, like murder and destruction, with the support that they needed from Mao. Having said that, they did this in all places of China, but mostly in capitalized or more populated areas, I should say. Less in the farming districts of China, more in the big cities, where it would be hard. Soon Mao realized his mistake and saw that the situation had become out of control, with the death toll rising alarmingly on both sides, but mostly bourgeoisie and the counter-revolutionists. He decided to enforce the military and to take the country under control and attempted to restore order before it got any worse, while still trying to re-educate the people of China to believe his ways and the communist ways. That is our source one. I will talk about my sources later on at the end of my presentation. What did the Red Guard want, though? You see, what did the Red Guard want to accomplish for themselves? Well, the Red Guard wanted to spread Maoism and communism through the world. The people wanted to spread their propaganda and reform the country and everywhere else, really, to communism. They wanted to get rid of the traditional Chinese and bourgeoisie beliefs, willing to do that with whatever action they saw right. They wanted to stop elitism and destroy the upper class favoritism that took part in China before the revolution. So there was some good parts because there was no longer any upper class favoritism at the time, which made a lot of the people happy. But soon they got out of control, and eventually they started fighting with authorities and public servants and security because they were seen as obstacles to the Red Guard. And they wanted to keep this power they held in use. And Mao didn't even stop them. He supported their actions because he wanted to get rid of the already existing government and replace it with his, from the Communist Party. Really, they just wanted to aid in the revolution's success, like making Mao fail. Here is another piece of propaganda. This one is titled The Oath of Silence. There is the source. What did the Cultural Revolution accomplish? In the end, did Mao get what he wanted? Or was it a total failure for them? It's hard to say whether it was a failure or it was a success. But a lot of people did die, a lot of people were imprisoned, and a lot of people suffered, as well as the country itself, China as well. After the revolution, Mao Zedong did take charge, but of a country that was in pieces and poverty. As the chairman of the Chinese Communist Party, Mao now possessed absolute power to purify communist revolutions in China, political purges, mass imprisonment, and execution of enemies of the people. And that seems bad, but to the Red Guard, that is exactly what they wanted, and that's exactly what they did. He also did do some good things. One of the good things that you could say that he did was, for quite some time, he did give peasants and the poor class, he did help them whenever the communists secured an area. During the revolution, Mao's Horays, team of supporters, went to work organizing villages, struggle meetings from force source. Obviously, this was a great thing, but to say that it lasted in China would be wrong, because Mao later then had forced the peasants to give up that land to privately owned plots of land to form state-owned collective farms. Then these peasants would go and work at these farms with the government. And even later, a few years later, Mao ordered these peasants to work on even larger commune farms, which eventually led to starvation and a collapse in the government, making the people even more unhappy. But what else happened as aftermath of the revolution? It was so painful that no one talks about it and the events of the revolution. And for the people who remember the events, why does no one talk about it? The media even censors it. And it's not because no one remembers it. It's because people think that it's too painful to bring up. Especially people that were part of the Red Guard. A lot of them reflected and felt bad. To the Chinese, it was the 10 years of chaos, if that brings any light onto the problem. A majority of the people in China were devastated during and after the revolution. Like Xing Lu, who was 10 years old during the revolution, and wrote an excerpt of his biography, which is my second source. I'll read it to you. I still have nightmares from witnessing my mother's temporary insanity, when she was cast out of the denunciation rally where my father was being tortured. And you can kind of see from this that it was very hard times, and some people lost their family, and even their lives. And that really stayed with them even after the revolution. And not that the Chinese as the 10 years, and the reason why is because after the revolution, they realized that millions of people have been persecuted, and thousands more even died during this revolution. And the leaders after the revolution of the Communist Party of China, they suffered from legitimacy loss, from the many brainwashed younger generations that had followed the power play of Mao. And it made it hard for them to receive support and recognition from other countries and even from people that were part of the Red Guard. Now here is one more piece of propaganda at the time. This one reads about the great immortal Mao and the Red Guard. And that's its source. But, just to recap, what also happened in the aftermath of the revolution. Other than the emotional scarring, there was a lot of damage done to the country itself. The country of China struggled to receive recognition and aid, as I said before. After the revolution, no matter how good they bounced back, which is great. You can see that as Okay, well, even if they went through this, eventually they became a much stronger country. Yes, they did. They could have been even more stronger. Because, first off, with the respect to the economic performance of China, the Cultural Revolution has resulted in significant loss of China's economic development. And that's from my third source. In addition, with interrupted education systems during the Cultural Revolution, young generations were involved in the political movements, laborious work, revolutionary activities instead of staying at school, which resulted in huge loss of human capital. And obviously that's bad, and that also means a loss of information. And later on, there was an upheaval that was wrongfully launched by the party leaders, taken advantage of by the counter-revolutionary crusades, resulting in several disasters for the party, the country, and its people. So even after the revolution, many years later, they still face turmoil. And it's pretty bad that the government has become this corrupted after the end of it. Here's my website. The first source, my very first one, is a PDF. It really goes on why the communists did win the revolution. It goes into why they fought it, how before the revolution happened, the Nationalist Party favored elitism, and a lot of the poor and the peasants suffered because of it, which gave them fuel, the Red Guard fuel, and all of their supporters to fight. The second source, as I talked about, was a biography, uh, and the impacts and thoughts of the cultural and communications. This was the seventh volume. It was published by the University of South Carolina, 2004. It was a short version. The very first one took place in I think it was 60. Yes, correct. It gave me personal insight and helped me understand just what it was like for everyone else that had to go through that experience, and it gave me a lot of really good insight. I had a lot of interest in this one. And then the biography uh, from domestic scholars, The Invisible Wound, the long-term impact of Chinese cultural revolutions on trust. And through the introduction, it states a lot of the things that I mentioned. And this was really useful. If I do decide to link it, the three things you at the bottom are biographies or documentaries that I saw on YouTube that were also very fascinating, gave me even a bit more insight on my claim. And the claim that I have to say is that China um, did not have to go through the revolution, and overall, it was not a good thing. And a lot of people do not want to talk about it because it hurt them that much. And it just goes to show that even though if people have the support for something, does not mean it's always the right thing, and that these people were taken advantage of. And so, with that claim being said, I think that the Chinese Revolution was not really at the best thought. It was not really what should have happened, and that if it did not happen, we could have seen an even stronger, possibly better China. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hopefully you can pick a side and you tell me in the comments down below if you do believe that maybe it was worth it for the revolution, or maybe it wasn't. It was reason to believe both. Thank you for listening, and have a good evening.